J. Kamhi. Boldly go, J. Kamhi.
Thank you, contest chair.
You're welcome.
When I was 7 years old, I loved Thursday nights. I'd sit in front of our old black and white TV, adjust the antennas, and then at exactly 8:30 p.m., it would happen. I would hear the dramatic voice of Captain Kirk from Star Trek say, "These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before." Oh, I loved it. At the age of 7, I promised myself, when I grow up, I will boldly go to strange new worlds. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and friends. Years later, when I turned 30, I was still living at home with my mom. And when I turned 40, I was living with my wife at her mom's. The life I had imagined at age 7 never happened. I had never been brave enough to take charge of my starship and boldly go to strange new worlds. Instead, I found myself in 1998 selling toys on the sidewalks of New York City. But not just any toy. I was selling Beanie Babies. Raise your hand if you remember Beanie Babies. Ooh, good. Raise your hand if you ever bought one. Oh, you're honest. Beanie Babies were these cute plush animals filled with beans, and they were the hottest craze in America. I buy them in stores for $5 and then resell them to collectors for as much as $50. Now, every few months, they'd release a new Beanie Baby, and collectors across the country would go crazy trying to buy it. On January 1st, 1999, they released Germania, and you could only buy it in Germany. My customers kept saying, "Jay, can you get me a Germania?" I said, "There is no way." They said, "I'll pay you $500 each." Like I said, there is a way. I have to go to Germany, but the farthest I've ever traveled is New Jersey. I've never been out of the country before. I don't speak German, and I'm terrified of flying. But then I thought, WWCKD. What would Captain Kirk do? It was as if I heard his voice. "Jay, your mission is to explore strange new worlds and to boldly go where you have never gone before." Wow. Captain Kirk said, "Boldly go." But I had spent my entire life barely going. As a result, I've been selling toys every day on the exact same street corner for 20 years because I was afraid I couldn't do anything else. So 1 week later, I boldly boarded my starship, a United Airlines 747, and I flew at warp speed to a strange new world called Munich. When I landed, I was greeted at the gate by a smiling German giant who said, "My name is Ralph. Welcome to Germany." I had hired Ralph to help me find Germania's. We drove along this winding country road with the snowy Alps in the background until we reached a tiny gift store. Inside, Ralph asked the owner something in German. I watched as the owner reached into a box behind his counter and pulled out a Germania. It was beautiful. Look at it. But Ralph and the owner just stood there and laughed. Then he sold me 12 Germanias. Jackpot. Back in the car, I said, "Ralph, what were you two guys laughing at?" Ralph said, "Ha ha ha. You were his first customer. Nobody in Germany wants these Beanie Babies." For the next 3 weeks, Ralph and I sped across Germany, going 100 miles per hour on the Autobahn, from Frankfurt to Dusseldorf to Berlin, scooping up every Germania we could find. I ended up with 527 of them. I flew home and became the first American ever to sell a Germania in the United States. Within the first 24 hours, I was completely sold out. Now, in the Beanie Baby world, I became more famous than Captain Kirk. All because I was willing to boldly go where I had never gone before. How about you? Is there a mission you want to accomplish? Whether it's a goal you put off, a dream you put on the shelf, or a mother-in-law's house you need to move out of. The real question is, will you barely go or will you boldly go?